As Home Secretary, I feel that we're really delivering on all the promises we set out in our election manifesto. One of my priorities has been reform of the police. We're going to introduce the directly elected police and crime commissioners to give local people a voice in how policing happens in their local area. We've introduced the crime maps, so people can now actually go online, can see what's happening in terms of crime in their area. They can see who their local police are, they know when their neighbourhood beat meetings are, and they can hold the police to account on what's happening in their local area. One of the big things that the police say to me is about how fed up they are with the bureaucracy, how they have to spend so much time sitting in the station, filling in forms, rather than be doing the job they want to be doing, which is actually out there on the streets. For example, we've stopped the stop and account form. We've reduced the amount of information the police have to have on the stop and search form, so the police have got more time to fight crime. Under the last government, we saw antisocial behaviour was not dealt with as well as it should have been. They created this alphabet soup of orders that the police and local authorities could use, ASBOs and ISBOs and CRASBOs. What we're doing is actually reducing that to just a very small number of orders that can be used. We want them to be less bureaucratic, to be able to be put in place more quickly so that we see really quick, effective action being taken. We're also trialling some different ways for the police to be recording complaints about antisocial behaviour, so they pick up when somebody's been subject or an area's been subject to a number of incidents, so we don't see people falling through the net as we have done in the past. Sadly, we see too many young people still out on the streets late at night, particularly at weekends, binge drinking and all too often getting into trouble. So introducing the minimum cost is actually a beginning of a process of changing that culture. And also we're going to have a community trigger, so that if an individual's had a number of incidents they've reported of antisocial behaviour and nothing's happened, they'll be able to trigger action from the police or the local authority, whichever is the appropriate body. We've introduced the annual cap on non-EU economic migration. We're also already looking at what we can do for student visas to get rid of the abuse that takes place. We're also going to make some changes in relation to settlement and to family visas as well. Sadly, the last Labour government got the balance wrong between protecting citizens, between our national security and our civil liberties. First thing we did was to scrap the ID cards. We've had a review of counter-terrorism legislation. We're dramatically rolling back the vetting and barring scheme to common sense levels so that we can protect vulnerable adults and children, but ensure that we don't damage the good things that happen in our society, the volunteering that takes place and the excellent work that is done. It'll take some time for some of these to feed through and to actually get into place. But we're out there, we're delivering what we promised we would.